Unless Doritos is going to sponsor us.
Okay, it says we're live.
Amazing. Okay, I am Patrick with the Rockscapes of Canada. We are the Rock Brothers, and we are doing a live competition for Vegas. The World of Concrete is bringing Sean and I front stage in the S Hall, where we get to actually go head to head and decide who is going to have the bragging rights for the best rock scaper in the entire world. Yeah, ish, or at least
Probably.
in the company. Sean and I have a couple of rules that we got to go over. One, we have to build something that can fit and ship on the 4x4 pallet. So this is one of the biggest restrictive things that we have to work for. Today we're going to be doing armature and lath. And one of the biggest things we have to also consider is the fact that we have to be able to finish by the end of the World of Concrete. That means day one has to be fiber coated, day two has to be finish coated, day three has to be painted. And on top of the live demonstration of building an artificial rock, we're going to also be doing educational talks. We're going to be teaching people how to build a rock step by step in all the different stations. Right now you can see a bit of a mess in our tables. We've sectioned off pretty much an identical size that we're going to have at the World of Concrete. This is going to be our speaker stump. We're going to have MC. We're going to have Robert behind the camera. Sean and I are going to be building the entire time. Brandon's going to be hosting. And I can't wait for you guys to follow along. We're going to start off by doing a concept sketch right here on the whiteboard, so you guys get the idea of what we're going to be building. This is my brother Sean. For those that don't know, you should be following, making sure. Okay,
So,
what are you building?
all right. Well, as you said, we got to be able to see it from all the way around. So, I don't want to undersize it, so I'd like it to be around head height so that we could see, as people are walking up. I know it's probably not smart, but
Yeah.
anyway, here we are. We're going hard. The other thing is that I think what we're gonna do is it's got to be able to walk all the way around and see everything. So I'm gonna do like a monolithic rock. So on the back side, say like where Robert is, if I'm on this side, he's going to be able to see like this monolithic rock. And then on this side, I thought it would be kind of cool, because Evie, my little girl, really loves Rapunzel. So it was like, maybe we could do some sort of scene where we're going to bring in like a tower and make it look kind of like a scenic diorama. So artificial rock one side, scenic diorama on the other, little something, little hidden gem, a little surprise. Those are the types of things that I like, and I think it'll be a unique challenge, especially to get it done in time.
Especially to get it done in time. That's cool.
Yeah.
For me, I'm going a lot simpler. I'm less ambitious on what I think I can finish in that time. And what I've always wanted to do is sword in the stone. So I'm going to have, we've actually 3D printed, I'll show you, 3D printed a sword. We still got to print out the blade. We still got to make it look like a cool sword. But I 3D printed the handle, and I'll 3D print the actual blade. And I want this stuck in the concrete inside, and I'm gonna make it look like it was jammed, crack the rock, and then I'm gonna have mist and moss growing around with mushrooms, and hopefully I can make quite a little scape as if it's like this little oasis. But I've always loved the Sword in the Stone story. I think that would be a fantastic.
So we're obviously fantasy nerds.
Nerds.
And that'll look sick.
A big part of Imagineering is like creating these immersive environments. It's something very unique. And whether you're going to be building it for a zoo or an aquarium or your backyard, like getting to escape is a big part of what we do.
Yeah.
And like creating these immersive environments and creating these like snapshots. Now we have to be pretty restrictive. Like as you can see, this is a really small space. And we're making sure that we finish, which is also ridiculously difficult. So we're gonna do a quick sketch to give ourselves some reference and you guys a little reference on what we're going for. It's gonna be very, very rough because we're using dry markers.
All right.
So mine, I'm gonna start with my spot.
Oh, like you're already 3Ding the. It's already 3Ding the palette. All right.
I can get rid
Let's
of
see how
that
this is gonna
later.
go. Let's see, monolithic rock. Let's see.
I'm taking a big crevice up at the top here with my sword.
Oh, crevice. Okay, I'm gonna do a crevice then. If you're gonna do
There you
crevice.
go. Prints there. And then, still within the rules, but a little bit sneaky, and to break up my square pallet look, is I am going to have an outcrop off to the side that I will fit under my original armature for today, so that shipping costs still maintain the same and the rules are followed. But that will break up our little plane, make sure that it feels like it's coming out a little bit. And then I really want to have, last year we did like a carpet of moss all the way around, so I'm hoping I can have a similar feel, like a very woodsy vibe. Imagine all this blue is green, and then I really love the rolling mist coming through and making a big mess. So instead of a waterfall, because we just don't have time or the space to make like full flowing pump or water feature, we don't have time for the waterproofing to set. So what I really want is that like look with the cool sword sticking out. I don't know, comment if you think that's a little small. I could reprint it, we got time. That sticking out of the top of the rock, but jammed in, and then mist coming out. Maybe I sneak in like a color changing light in there so that we can get that mist to glow. That's a real consideration. And then yeah, we have maybe I have another smaller rock outcrop, but essentially I just need to break this thing up. We already have our speaker stump over there, so I was thinking about putting a wood element, but just the time and effort involved, and we already have all these mini challenges planned for this event too, that I just don't think it would be a good idea. And we want it 360, we want it to look really good 360, but I want from the back side, similar to Sean's idea, like when they see it from the back, they're more curious to come to the front and have a conversation with me. Okay.
Yeah, so for me, like I said, tower in the middle, I think it's going to be about, we're also going to utilize 3D printing because I think it's really neat, and we're having a lot of fun with it, so why not? Adds a different element. This is 30 inches, I think we said. So like I said, we got to create these sort of boulders. We're restricted by space, so we don't want it to look too encroached. I still have to be able to get in there and work on the rock itself, because the rock is the show, what we could do with concrete. But yeah, I also like a water element, and if I'm able to sort of maybe create some sort of basin up in here somewhere and have a little bit of water flowing coming around the tower, I think that would be really cool. But otherwise, you know, one large tall rock, maybe some outcroppings. I always like a good pride rock for my zoo friends. And I think it'll look great from all different sizes. So it's really just making sure that it'll fit on the pallet, because obviously I'm going to have to come out a little bit from one side and here.
Can't be rejected.
Can't be rejected at the border, otherwise we're really in trouble. But you know, like sort of breaking up and blocking it out in this sense with my tower in the middle, you know, like that's kind of how we're gonna start.
I can picture
and see where it goes, right?
So how tall are you looking to make yours?
Well, that's if that's going to be 30 inches, then I'll probably extend it to double, but you know.
Okay.
I didn't want to erase my name. It's
yeah,
so important.
I'm thinking I will be about waist height. Like that sword in the stone moment is the kid being able to like actually put both hands on it at about that waist height, a little bit higher than waist height. So that's where I'm thinking my top has to be. Holding the sword, I feel like it's a little small. So I may.
The sword is definitely small.
It feels a little small, right?
I like the concept though.
I think I might have to reprint this. We got just enough time if I come in on the weekend. But I like the handle.
The look is cool.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to be a broadsword, and then also like obviously you said you wanted to extend that.
I gotta extend
because
that.
Otherwise that's going to be very limiting as to where it can go into the stone.
I want blade to be seen.
Yeah, you want it to kind of like be out and almost presented to whoever walks up to it. Maybe, I don't know, just an idea.
Even competition.
I don't know why I'm
collaborating.
Yeah, I know.
It's the natural. Okay, so what we have.
I think, you know what, actually, I think the side's perfect. I think it's good. You should keep it that way.
Yeah. Because Sean's a little older and a little weaker and sick, we're going to give him the hydraulic bender. And I am going to bend by hand with our old school benders here. So,
it's just because you like to make your own life harder.
and I need a good workout. It's a new year. We gotta have that healthy, fit life for at least this month, right?
Debatable. All right,
Let us begin.
How many lengths we got here?
Oh yeah, so we each have 10 lengths of 10-foot rebar. And then if we need more, we'll add some. There's a little bit more rebar intensive, so I think you might need more. But materials aren't limited. The only material limiting on site is that we can only pack 1 pallet of cement. So square footage wise, we can't go past that. And maybe by the end of the day, we'll show you guys the stamps we're thinking, show some techniques on the bending, show some techniques on the lathing. So whether you're following in the replay or live, you can learn something.
Cool.
Shall we?
Yep.
Awesome. For me, I'm going to run and grab chalk, 2 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to lay mine out on this. So that way, pretty much anything I do, I'm trying to create a map for myself. And these are going to be pretty heavy, so I don't think we're going to be taking them off the pallet. We don't want to do that to the World of Concrete. They've been nice to us. We want them to, when they get rid of it, just be able to pick it up with the pallet. So the outcrops will have to actually come down and over, which is a little bit more difficult. But the rest of it needs to be able to stay on the pallet itself. So in terms of that 360 look and creating some element that comes out and kind of immerses you, maybe this actually gets to be a bit of a step as well. And then small element here. The tricky part is that I'll actually have to make these separate pieces so that they come in, which is a little bit annoying and difficult for the task. Excuse me if you can hardly hear me. Still getting over a bit of a cold from the holidays. I'm sure some can relate. And then while we're at the World of Concrete, we're going to be doing these educational talks. And those educational talks are going to be live on LinkedIn. Then we're going to be doing mini challenges. So if you can't stay for the whole live or you just want to check in, but you want to know when, then make sure to look at Instagram, Facebook, and we haven't decided, but maybe TikTok. Okay, so this is my base. This is where I can get started. I'm going to wear gloves today. This is one of the most manual parts of the entire thing. If you're bending by hand. But essentially, I'm going to take that chalk map and follow it to the best of my abilities, plus or minus a little bit. Don't need to do anything crazy. But we need that general shape done, all out of rebar. And the more shaping that I do with rebar, the less I have to do after the fact. Ooh, pretty and white. Oh, it works. Good one. Okay. So normally, if I was building this to stay, then I would just keep continuing. But for the fact that I actually have to pack it all on this, I actually have to make these separate. So it's twice the amount of work. It's a little bit annoying, but I need it to essentially be freestanding. So I'm going to bend this back.
I don't want to make a big deal about it. I've already done the base of my first boulder. You know, this older, sicker guy. Not saying I'm blowing it out of the water just yet, but here we are.
Older, sicker, smarter. That's all that matters. Do that. Okay. Well, that makes me feel worse. No, that's okay. I still got it. A little bit of bending. It's good for you. probably be finished the bending and I'll have time to use it anyways. There we go. Done as well. A little bigger. There we go. My first outcrop left in. There's no prize for being first, just prize for being best. So that's all that matters to me. First thing I had to manually do in the new year. First sweat of the year. These types of benders have been used by every single person in this company who's done any rebar work for 40 years. These ones are only about 10 years old. Those are at least 20. That down. I'll cut that later.
The other good thing about this machine.
And I will strip that one with this.
There we go. Start to save some time. So we get my boulder grouping, and then that's going to take and start to dictate the shape as I go. So we do love this machine for many, many reasons, but it cuts. So I think I'm only going to need half. Start with a cut, switch it over. Look at that. Much easier to cut. Not to spend too much time thinking about my shape because I'm going to alter it as I go. But it gives me a nice base. Some of these, and then maybe I'll put a long one down there, but I still want it open up here. how that fits. And that is going to be the basis of my group. Alright, next we gotta start putting it together, weld it up, make it happen. You want to use my bender? I'm not using it currently.
I'm gonna cut with yours. But I like to feel burn.
Show these young whippersnappers how it's done.
Let's start about this machine. For sure, like
Like you owe me an apology.
How about that? It doesn't count. For you two, don't look directly at the light.
Oh, now you tell us.
Yeah.
Okay. As I'm staring directly.
Yes, yes.
I was.
Camera can stare.
I'm alive. I'm alright.
It's like the same brightness as the sun.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like something called arc eye is very painful. Number one thing I catch anybody on the construction site is like just watching as well, like moths to a flame. And they'll be like sneaking past safeties just to check and look at the arc, which is not ideal. Not if you like your site level.
I passed by your shop years ago and spoke with you, Patrick, from Bedrock Custom Concrete.
Oh, cool. Well, thanks for joining. Are you going to World of Concrete this year? Because if you are, make sure to stop by and we'll reconnect. That would be wonderful. I always see your stuff on Instagram actually, so I appreciate you following along and checking it out. 100%. Figure stuff?
I love it. Can I stand on that?
Yeah, you can stand on that. Don't stand on that one, stand on that.
Oh boy.
I have a step. That will be the step.
Yeah.
But let me get you. This is not supported by anything.
Slightly high. All right. That's our base. Watch your eye. So, being that that's our base, now we got to build the boulders and the grouping, right? And make sure that it all ties together, how we're going to do that. So, we'll see how high I can come with that one. Probably no higher than this, because again, Patrick's point about material is valid.
My favorite thing that I've built in years. A lot of different cool elements on the jump. My favorite is honestly just the fact that it stays right here. Like the zoo, we can do that. Or the zoo is a habitat mainly meant for the animals. Yeah, do we try and do it somewhere kids with like the family? Yes, but we have way less to do with any type of like eating, right? Like those designs are designers were incredible, professional, so positive towards like a positive effort, and so they really did help with that and like help bring up the communication and allow us to do business. So 100% go to the show. Make sure it's ready for the message ready to do, and let us know what you think. So normally I wouldn't have to do nearly as much work. This would be about a third less rebar. The fact that I got to build this center rock, and then I want to, the 4x4 is just too small. Immediately I had to break that barrier and come on out, especially when we're dealing with such a large space, people allowed to come 360. So I'm coming out a lot more than I initially thought I would. And now I have to reconfigure on how that, like, those breaks look and the heights of the rock itself. Challenge for another day though. Or another minute. Oh yeah, that's pretty tough. Hey.
Watch your eyes. Oh, first fire. Not the last. Somewhere to hang our whip.
Okay, normally I'd put some structural steel in here, but the fact that I have to actually fit all my pieces inside means I just don't have room for that frame. Nobody's going to be jumping on it. It would probably be okay without. Most people don't have that level anyways, so unless it's going to be for like a public piece. So I'm pretty okay with these just being perfectly hollow. Now, not gonna lie, we might film everybody live, so the same type of hustle feel at any given moment. Like you can't be sitting still when somebody watches. So that part took us a little bit longer to get set up. It was our first time. So what we really want to do is make sure that we have everything tested and run down, and the armature is done today. That's the most important part. The likelihood of us lathing is probably pretty slim, and the chance of us getting that done, because typically we get a sheet done in about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how complicated. Sean's looking a little bit more abstract. His is going to take like an hour a sheet, so we just don't have that time when he's going to be like 7 sheets of lath on his. I'm going to be at least 6 sheets of lath on mine. So that part is a little less boring. Hopefully we can get like our first sheet so we can show you guys how we lath, and you can get a little bit of understanding. But either way, at the end of this, we're going to edit the whole thing down into a consumable size 10-minute video, 20-minute video, and we'll make sure that there's some footage of us laughing so you can see how we did it. And to make sure that we didn't just give that to the guys. Feels like it could. a good run.
Okay.
So make sure you want to repeat. Honestly, getting a little bit of a feel for each one, engagement for each one, like kind of knowing, and then
That was pretty good. There was a lot.
yeah, awesome. Instagram is usually pretty good. I would say. Yeah, you can share the whole thing. Yep. Big sample.
Sorry?
Everybody okay?
Yeah, it's Kaya that's it.
Oh, Kaya.
Kaya's the one that had a, all of a sudden, it was very scary. I'm glad she made it to the toilet, not on the floor.
Yep.
But yeah, everything's good.
Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm actually mapping the vertical. So I want that relatively rigid upside on the back, and then I want this like kind of inviting slope on the front. Get that typical boulder feel. And then the hard part, what I'm gonna do is actually map the entire boulder out, and then I'm gonna find my crevice or my boulder, like my little spot that I fit the mister in after the fact. I'll actually cut that out and replace it. It's just twice as much work if you're gonna do a planter, or you're gonna do this type of water spillway to make it look natural. And you always end up, because it's all physical, you always end up taking slight shortcuts, whereas if you cut it out after the fact, you've already made the most natural looking boulder possible. And then you're figuring out and finding that spot for your crevice, your planter, your waterfall spout at the beginning. So right now I'm mapping the top, and then once I have a few more pieces like mapped for each and every little side boulder and for this guy, then I'll grab my welder and start welding this sucker up.
Should I go live on Facebook now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I would start each live for those. We have to start with either an MC or one of our as an introduction.
Okay.
And then you get to start back and forth, like checking in, showing what we're doing, showing how we're doing.
Okay.
All right, so we're like rinse and repeat, and hopefully with that number of, it'll just make it more comfortable and talk with them. Right? That's what reality TV
That's
is.
reality.
Yeah.
Oh, that worked. That worked.
That
Okay,
worked?
now
Wonderful.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
see what's going on.
Okay, because yeah, we got to figure out how to read your comments and your questions live while we're building, while we're filming, and while we're answering questions to everybody else walking around World of Concrete. So part of this is a trial. We're really happy that you're joining for it. Part of this is timing how much your battery is going to last, right?
Ah.
Wicked. Thank you, Steve. So it's long form, which is great. It's not the short speed. That's great.
We're lying about the battery life though. It's already at 20%.
Yeah, and it has not been an hour, right?
No, it's been 40 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, hey, that's actually pretty close.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yep. Not too shabby. Okay, so that's my next piece. Set that to the side. And, part of me is hoping you're needing a break or something, and I could just steal his welder rather than set up a whole other one. Let's see. Let's see next.
How you doing over there, Betty?
Not too shabby. I've got all my rough in on the bottom done, and a couple of my verticals set.
It works to my advantage. You're a little bit more popular on the old Instagram. Getting all the questions.
We're
Work
all
quietly and
you're on Facebook.
quickly.
Facebook's next. So yeah, I'd like to figure out how, but let's say we're not halfway on the show. How to really watch
Alright, we have the base. So, what I'm doing is what I like to call mapping. And it's exactly what it sounds like, right? You're drawing a picture, you're drawing the outside line first, and then you're coloring it in. So, for engineered strength, what we always do is a 10 inch by 10 inch grid. So, after I get my base shape, you're going to see me start to wrap it around in that grid pattern, horizontally and vertically. So right now we just want to see if we like how it looks, because it's a heck of a lot easier to cut out one or two pieces than it is to cut out a full grid. And yeah, we'll be able to stand back shortly and sort of get an idea of the topography and figure if that's the way we want to go. But now would be the time to make the changes, right? Right, Robert?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I've cut some of my smaller lengths so that I could actually do these smaller outcrops off to the side. And I'm just going to map these out, probably get one or two per. And then it doesn't look like Sean's going to be in a spot that I can steal his welder, so I'll have to set up my own and go from there. But so far so good. Thank you guys for tuning in. Having a lot of fun. I'm building Sword in the Stone, and Sean's building Rapunzel diorama megalithic rock. Very excited to see what you guys prefer.
definitely never been accused of putting too much thought into each bend. You kind of want your base to be a little bit random. Nature's random, and that's what it's all about.
How you doing, Facebook? Thank you guys for joining. Right now, I'm in the mapping stage, so I am putting off actually setting up my welder, getting started on that. But I've mapped out my entire bottom, saw my concept, expanded a little bit beyond the edges. The rules were that it has to ship on one pallet. So I'm going to be jamming this in pretty good, tying things together so that it all sticks in the right place. But essentially, we have our 4x4 pallet. We both have the same starting point. Mine is going to be built into another piece, so it's going underneath the other side. And kind of jam everything together and then just spread it out once we get to the roll of concrete. But what I'm doing is smaller boulder outcrop and then the giant core of the stone in the center. So you showed the 3D printed core? Awesome. Don't know if we're going to make that bigger, but either way, I am going to keep that so it's a little cooler rather than that black core. What I want this to feel like, because we've set up a similar size space of what's going to be a roll of concrete. Sean's the entrance, so everybody will be coming down that way. So what I'm thinking about is how to entice people in. I want that last day for people to be able to step up and kind of get that feel on the store itself. Pictures, whatever, home pictures, make it that Instagrammable feel. But I want to draw people in. I don't want everybody to stop and talk to Sean when they could be coming and chatting with me as well. So I got to make sure that even though he's got a beautiful looking diorama, that they're going to want to come and explore more. And my thoughts are, how do I bring people in? But then also, have something not just share that.
Can you talk about how, I guess, your methods differ from Patrick's?
Well, I'm older, therefore wiser. My methods, I do try to keep it fairly random, and like I said, I concentrate first on the mapping, which is just like the base shape first. That way that I can make my, if there's a part I don't like, I can rip it out fairly easy, like I'm fully committed to it. But this is that stage where, you know, I was able to get the base done quickly. Like, I'm not overthinking it, I'm not staying in my head too much. And I'm gonna get the base shape for each boulder that I put on the ground. Now, I'm not gonna stick to that perfectly. I'm gonna leave myself some leeway, but I have a general shape and feel that I wanna stick to, especially when it comes to the outer ring. So that's gonna give me some dynamic shaping if I follow that. Then of course I got the challenge of height. I don't want it to look too monolithic or too hokey. I wanted to add in the water element. So this is that point where after I get my base shape, I'm going to have to slow it down, because somewhere in here is going to have to be an area where the water could flow down. And this collection of boulders in the middle is, one, going to have to sit my tower, and two, it's going to have to act as like a bit of a water basin. With the mist, I'll probably incorporate some of that too, because the water itself is not going to do at all. And for the mist, the mister is a certain size, so I'm going to have to incorporate that into this amount of reservoir. So the mister uses usually a heat element in order to create the mist. So I'm going to have enough water in there that it's not going to evaporate. So all these things are going to have to start to be part of my thinking process and my challenge. And just to be able to make sure everything fits and is hidden, I may have to cut some things out. But likely up in here will be a bit of a water storage, and down there will be where the basin is. Usually, correct me if I'm wrong, but last year we added the water element a little bit at the end, and as well received as it was, I'm not sure that the world of concrete really super enjoyed seeing a whole bunch of water spilling it out onto the ground as the mist was like sort of evaporating onto the ram board that was provided for us. So I will probably make that front boulder a little bit higher this year to capture most of that and sort of keep it. I would like it to look kind of like this mystic valley when you come around to the diorama side. So this has a lot of different elements, right? Like if you come from the back, it looks like I'm making artificial rock in like this monolithic way, and then when you come around to the front, it's meant to have that little surprise, like I'm creating a scene, creating a bit of a story, and you know, I'm sure I could spend just on something this small, you could spend a week just creating little elements of the story. We don't have a week obviously, so I'm going to have to do as well as good as I can with what I got and the time that I have. And yeah, these are the challenges that make this fun. So that's kind of what it's all about, right?
And batteries at 5%. Do you want to send a little goodbye message? Talk about Vegas, maybe?
Oh yeah, you definitely got to come to Vegas. Check us out. This is a huge deal for us, and hopefully for the show. You know, we have been given the opportunity to sort of share what we do with everybody. It's a little bit different than you might be used to. We're going to do some speaker series, we're going to do some challenges, we're going to do some trash talk, everything on what you could do with concrete, and I think it's pretty impressive, versatile material. That's what the show is all about, and we're going to take it to its limits.
Awesome. Thank you.
Of course.
We'll let people take a photo shoot.
Yes, those pictures will be awesome.
The pictures will be wicked, but we won't be letting people challenge their strength.
Okay, guys, noted.
Yeah.
Don't rip it out.
Please don't rip out the sword. It's the only thing that I have where I think I can win this competition. If somebody breaks my sword, it's going to be a lot less interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Broken sword in the stone isn't as cool.
So battery here is at 3%.
3%, you got to plug that in right now.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So
That is where?
we have the plug right here. And you almost need to like set yourself into center zone.
Okay.
And if you look over here, Patrick is not. No big deal. Anyway, send that to all our friends and family.
Unplug yourself in, and you're setting, plug into the back, 2%, way to leave it right to the end. Oh, that's the wrong one. Red light should be charging. If it goes down to 1, then that's all enough. Okay. That should be good.
Cool. Thank you.
Great. Just keep an eye, maybe I look for a different pattern that's a little bit better.
Yep.
Come on.
Okay, battery may die in a sec, so just give us a moment and we'll reconnect as soon as possible. Yeah, it's at 1. Trying everything here.
We gotta better dedicate. I think some of these are slow charging like cords, which are crap.
Yeah.
Let me see. Hello, maybe. Problem is, I can't even tell if this is. Should be it. 1 second. Let's plug in right to the wall. Whew. We might lose you. That's it. And have to go different. Cannot tell. You have to hold it. They come around this side, it'll be a little more comfortable for you. Oh, yeah, look, that was unplugged.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so let it get to like 2 or 3%.
Yep.
And then push that out. Yeah, there's a light now, that's why.
Okay.
So it should be working now. How about that? This guy's dead.
Oh, that's great news.
Yeah.
It's still not working.
Oh,
Yeah. Everything's plugged in. I don't know what's up.
well, no, it doesn't show it charging.
Oh, so it is for sure charging.
It should be charging. It doesn't show anything when it's actually on.
I see. Okay.
So we just keep an eye on it. If it goes to 2%, then we're good.
All right.
But how's my phone going? How's
The quality looks great. I checked the stream.
Does it?
The quality's great. I'm not sure about the audio quality.
yeah, 48%. So this is where we have to like plan our charging while we're doing it here.
Yeah.
Versus, and you've been keeping the screen on, right?
Yeah.
So that also will take down the battery. So when I talked about like we have to like be charging it when you're over in each spot, or you have to do less back and forth and like sit down next to the table and have it just in point and shoot at us for a bit. You're doing a lot of dynamic shots right now. Get used to more like set, like have a routine like set for 10 where it's plugged. Dynamic shot for 5, dynamic shot for 5, yeah. Set, plug, and maybe it's set on the opposite person.
Okay. So I'm trying to find a balance between recording you as the
Yeah, 100%. And that is important. Yeah. But that could be the difference of like, okay, it's not dead at 1%, it should be, I think we're charged. That's just screwed. Just put it. Really good.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so, this is a, yeah. They're both the same. And then, do you have a decent charging block? That's okay, we can, we're not dead yet, but we may die at any second.
What's dying?
Yeah, this one goes at 1%. Balance up. So, this is, do you have the third? So, I'm not sure, but like, that's a big part of what we'll have to figure out is really the balance of these things. Like, setting them up, having one, maybe one is backup all the time for live, and one of them is a set time lapse, one of them is like, was the hardest, I knew that was going to be the hardest part of the time. Yeah. Yeah, and like these sets for 10 minutes, like start, and it's just like looking at one of us, and then you go to the other, go it out live.
Yes, but it will be good. Will be good for Vegas. Don't worry. And the viewers at home don't need to block their eyes, right?
No,
They're good? Okay.
Close your eyes while you're watching.
Yeah.
Well, let's go see the competition.
Yeah.
Looking for competition over here.
Well, that's going to be the height. You're going to leave enough room for building and creating like crevice. I think crevice is slightly forward motion. And that's going to be a set. So that we can get that shot where people look like they're trying to wedge it out. But yeah, the only way I can think of trying to remove the square is to build out the smaller boulders for the aircraft. And be able to pack it out. I don't know. I've got it all mapped. Every piece is ready for map other than a step. So welding should be quick. And yes. I think mine will be easier to lap. Yeah.
I think everybody that comes to this is going to work.
Oh, it's going to be brutal. Brutal. Yeah, my conversation.
You're not even against me anymore. You're just against
yourself. Against the clock. But that, like a half an hour talk is going to be easy to go through and crush it. So that part I'm a little nervous about live. Yeah. But it's okay.
So that's the height. That's the height, right?
This will be the final height of it. Like it'll be about 1.5 inches taller than that.
So how long have we been going so far?
We've been going for about an hour and a bit. An hour.
This one's an hour and 5 minutes for this
Hour and
one.
5
Hour and
minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Alright, you got one more hour and then you gotta give it up.
No, not the steel part. That's the.
But if we were alive and at the show, you have 2 hours.
I can fiber code this. What I'm scared about is, so World of Concrete just confirmed we got to mix it. Like literally just confirmed we got to mix it.
We gotta mix it out mud.
But we got to mix our own mud. And the last time it was like a 300-foot walk, which just doesn't sound crazy. But there was no carts.
Breaks up the day.
It certainly breaks up the day. And we're looking at 20 buckets.
Mixer or
No, it's a top barrel mixer, similar to the top of our mixers there, with a similar chute as well.
Whoever gets there first makes a batch.
That doesn't sound competition-like. I'm thinking I'm going to take 3 buckets of cement at a time, make sure I get all of it, and leave it fresh. But this is
Well,
like
then
20,
turn off your water.
like 20, 25 buckets of cement, which has got to be 30 batches total. Yeah. That's a lot to mix ourselves. If you are in the world of concrete and feel like getting your hands dirty, let us know. We're happy to have a helper. Yeah, I think that's going to be a little bit tough. We have 4 hours each day? Yeah. That's going to be tough.
Plus overtime hours.
Overtime hours is probably going to be something. Yeah. So if you're wondering where we are and why we're not out for dinner, it's because we're actually still making.
Try to make sure this actually happens.
Fun, can't wait. All right, I'm gonna map out my step, and I'm gonna make it a little bit oversized. Leave it 8 of mine. I've been using a bit heavy one. I like that. So that you have to take that big leap. Plus, I want to make sure, like 6 inches would just be like just a little bit above this, which is a typical step, 6 or 7 inches. I think I want 8 or 9 inches. So that one would cover that whole front face, and 2, when you go at it, you're a little bit closer to the stone. Assuming we still let people touch it. But
Do we have one of those misters here? How big are those?
we have multiple misters here. Mine is relatively decent size. It's like 6 inches by.
We only got one?
only one that size. Yours would be like 14 inches long. Very hard to cover.
No, we had two. We had two in the pond, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. I see what's happening here. He's trying to make up time because he can't get to welding. Doesn't even have his welding hat on. He's not even ready.
Yeah, I took them out of the pond when they're in the town center. We have 4 misters total.
Okay.
And two of them are like 14 inches by 4 inches.
Yeah.
And one of them is like 6 inches by 4 inches. But produces half the amount of mist, so.
I don't know that I need a ton. I just need to fit it somewhere.
Yeah. The one we used last year was 12 or 14 inches.
Yeah, that was big.
That was big, but it had a good amount of mist. I think I want more mist. I think that's where I want to go.
You gotta say it like Christopher Walken.
I need more mist.
That's a bad impression.
If I did an accent, do
like more cowbell, like.
The Foo Fighters one. Yeah.
I need more mist.
The battery's still at 1%.
I gotta have it.
So it's working.
Yeah, it's just not going up. 1%.
Just
don't
touch
touch.
the
Screen.
let it have its moment.
Yeah.
Hey, you're guys gonna stay stationary while we charge you.
I'll take the time to get the tool out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's literally what we were talking about. Is like trying to figure out how to balance and what to do with that balance. Yeah. So I really think you're gonna have 3 GoPros. So now it already feels like too much. So what I think it's gonna be, you set your time and you have like a little clock or something. You're able to set that timer. You set it. Say it's on the speaker stump. Looking at it, one of us, and then you go do some dynamic shots with the other GoPro, and then when that one's in, you just start charging the other. Because otherwise, it's all going to be dying left and right. Yeah. An hour is not a lot of time. You could end the Facebook Live. Thank you everybody for joining. Whoever made it this far. We are going to be doing lives every day that we're in Vegas. We're going to be doing fiber coat first day with a lot of mini challenges, showing people how to do fiber coat, finish coat, stamping, making stamps. Realized got a bunch of fun mini challenges, so make sure if you're at the World of Concrete, come check us out. If you're not at home, nice and cozy, then make sure to jump on the live. YouTube's going to be live the entire day, and then nice snippets and like overview summaries are going to be on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn is going to be educational time. So very much looking forward to seeing you back on January 20th. Can't wait to go live with you then. Cheers. fantastic transition. But I'm watching because we're doing it slow and then literally the same walk through and doing slow. Right? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Cool? Totally different audience, I think, which is a consideration, but it's also extremely mechanical thing than what is the different aspect of usage, different aspect of surcharge, different aspect of so they're looked at, which
breakfast on this morning.
okay. Gas welder.
How are you feeling, Robert?
Not too well.
Not 100% yet?
Not really.
Is it the flu? Or not that aspect?
Is it a fever or some common cold? You want to switch that to look at John?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be for a bit.
You were saying your daughter's 16?
Yeah, she woke up this morning out of the blue. She was sick in the password on the brain to the bathroom.
Hey.
Right? Fucking going around.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Everyone in our lives.
Everyone is sick, right?
Great start to the new year, right?
It's bad.
But you're okay? You're okay?
I'm good. Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
No, no, we go in front of that.
Oh, I go for that. Okay.
Yeah, and it's okay, everybody just so you know what we're doing. Small break, we'll be right back for the iron stuff.
Okay.
Like a 5 minutes still of the
Is it running live right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
YouTube will be non-stop the whole time. You're not pausing, you're just talking.
What?
You're not pausing, you're just talking.
Oh, yeah. Hi everyone, hopefully you can see me. We're just taking a small break, figuring out some little parts, and we will get back to the action in a few minutes. Stay tuned.
Right? Talking to me?
Sean's still working away though.
Still working.
GoPro's still at 1%.
But we know that they can use a chain battery.
Yeah, not charged.
Well, I think one is not a good battery. There's a charger, a front charge, and you want to check in the lecture?
Yeah,
there's a charger on it. Nothing? Okay. When you take it home, what I would like to know is while it's plugged in, the battery is blocked. If that's the case, then we can have a fully charged battery. Yeah, it's just like, yeah. Otherwise, you're walking around with that charger. Yep.
Like I have that battery pack, remember? Here, like for the show. Then you did walk around with it.
Fine.
That's all the time. So you'll have to finish the rest of the show. Good luck.
Dude, that's a tough day.
That would be a tough day.
Yeah, yeah. You have one thing, anything?
Is there many towers in this aspect, or are those all over everything?
I'll have to be in there.
Oh,
I just don't see how we can add that right now. If
yeah.
we can.
Yeah.
Honestly, like already, still, I still think you and Robert have to figure out like the roles that you guys are playing in between,
Okay.
and that might be a brainstorming session now. Like, how can we add interactives in between? Say when you're setting the GoPro down for a charge, like, is that a time where you check in with people? We also have to be monitoring comments, catch those, and then also for the full length, right? So it's 5 videos in one. So
Right.
there's literally, I don't think, any downtime in it.
Yeah.
It's figuring out to get the footage during that time. That there might accidentally be like repetitive, or say we're talking with somebody or something.
Okay. So he was saying we have to figure out what you and me are gonna do in the downtimes to keep people engaged and watching. Which is good.
We'll be kind of running around the time.
Yeah, right. And I'm gonna be monitoring the comments and if anyone's saying anything to us, responding. But also helping in, right, asking them the questions, giving them mini challenges, and all those things. And also taking the little shorts that I want to do, the viral moments, the transitions, at those moments, right, in the build.
Let me know when you want me to put the camera on.
For sure. I'll probably stand on that,
Okay.
which is slightly terrifying.
Pretty cool though.
Yeah, maybe if you guys work together, you can pull that over closer to on this table,
Okay.
and then get those shots.
And I have to stand on that, and we're gonna do a kind of 360 in the shop, and then a 360 in Vegas, kind of transition video.
You need help up?
I'm good. I'm good. We just need to move this stuff.
Oh, they
But-
want to move it.
Yeah, we don't want to wreck it. I don't want to wreck anything.
I also feel like it'd be great to use if you guys stand on like a podium and it's kind of like player 1, player 2.
Ooh,
Kind of
yeah.
thing. That'd be kind of
And do kind of the
Yeah,
that
exactly,
you know,
yeah.
the game. That would be funny. I keep looking at it.
Some Christmas
I
thing.
keep looking at it because it's so. I don't.
Be unhappy.
Like a moth to a flame.
While I was working at the Nordique spot on the fire pit, everybody was still working on it, and then there was like I was welding while everybody was around in the spot, and then straight up the eclipse happened, and they're like, "Can I have your welding helmet to look at the eclipse?" So I gave it to a bunch of people that we flashed as like a sorry, archive.
I have the spots happening now. What's gonna happen, Patrick?
Yeah.
Am I gonna be blind?
No, but
Okay.
it can be very painful. But it's usually like you have the equivalent of half an hour of watching it. Your eyes feel like you had a bunch of crushed glass in them.
Oh.
So it usually happens. You wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, "Why is there glass in my eyes?"
Uh oh.
It's only happened to me once in all these years.
threw sand in your eyes.
Yeah.
Oh. You have to stop looking. There's some glasses.
My first time was actually at the Children's Museum in Cape.
That happens to me lots of times.
Oh.
Yeah, so I mean,
Definitely not once.
it should be rare. It's supposed to be rare.
It's supposed to be here.
First time I was very good.
There's no way to, you know, like,
There's no doing it. Yeah, it's like they grab the power pack, like the second cord, or third round in the road, with like
yeah.
or with lots of cables, or go with John, either one. Like only movement, only live to be that way for the rest of the day.
Okay.
So, that way we're
So I was looking online. There's a device, small connector, that allows you to live stream something like that. This would be like awesome for 4K. That would be good in or not.
yeah.
I don't know if that's really done, but it'd be great quality.
Hoping there's like a simple
Yeah.
like we're already at 3, 4, 5 there. And we've already got 2 and 9. I mean, plus the home.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I really like the jump spot. Alright, you guys want to do that? Put that over to here first, or to Sean first, either one. And then you can get the shot.
So we're moving this guy.
So the same time as
Over here?
that guy, to look over here, or to look
Okay. You hold that.
yeah,
And I hold that. And we'll turn it on Patrick first.
Then just the corner, I guess. Thank you. Have you guys used that new coffee maker yet, or no?
No, I just brought it right to the new house. So
Nice.
it's sitting in the floor on the floor, ready to go.
What will one day be a kitchen?
One day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's got lots of work done already.
Oh my gosh, yeah. He's there right now with kids. His dad's there.
Right?
They're doing rerouting the ducting. Or
Okay.
they were really bad, the ductwork.
Yeah.
So they're redoing that, reworking it. the dad, it's his first time in the house, that's his dad.
Yeah.
He's looking at the structure of the bones, he said, what a hack job. Like the person that built it. Wow, yeah.
My first time after we spent like 2 months cleaning, doing some renovations, and my grandfather came in and he was like, why'd you buy such a shithole? It's like, it's all I can afford, Papa.
Exactly. What do you want from us?
And then he goes, honestly, I don't know, something's wrong with you and your dad, or you just want to do work your whole life.
Yeah, right?
Thanks.
Nothing can be easy. No.
Thanks, Papa.
I'm gonna stand here, pretend I'm in Vegas, but I'm not.
Do you want sort of like a down up angle like this, or
What is flattering?
I do both.
flattering?
Flattering. I don't want it to be.
You check, do both, and that way you have options.
Yes.
This looks good.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah? Okay.
So just pull it around?
Yes.
Okay. We'll do one more, but
Yep.
back to it.
Alright, I feel like I'm catching up.
Oh yeah.
Actually, you know what? Can I possibly record you scrolling through
Doing
Instagram? or
social
something?
media
Yeah,
stuff?
Show your expertise.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on Instagram. Then you can kind of even go behind me and see what I'm looking
Sure.
at.
Yeah.
and
I'll go
what
on
is-
top of the stump.
Yeah. let's see.
Thank you. I love this on a head nod. Like,
Yeah. Good numbers. Good numbers. It actually is good numbers. The live I shared
Yeah?
on Instagram has good numbers already.
Oh, awesome.
People are
Checking it out.
checking it out.
If you want to do TikTok, that'd be great.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then same thing, go to each one of us and do the introduction of yourself through, like you're hosting, right? So,
I keep forgetting to say that.
yes.
That I'm hosting. I'm
Yeah.
a host.
Yeah.
I gotta throw that in. I forgot that last time.
We're gonna do a bigger grid than.
Yeah. Yeah. Time and effort.
If you're going overboard, we don't need it. It doesn't need to last longer than the show.
Yeah.
We literally do your time.
See, I thought you guys were doing your walls again. Like just the wall?
The panel?
Yeah, like you did last time.
Oh no, like we decided one, the problem with what we did last year was that like most of the point of view, people couldn't see anything but plywood.
Behind it, yeah.
And
Yeah.
nobody, one, it also isn't our style, like we don't build out of foam. And two, that vertical, the height just wasn't, it was really difficult to tell a story on a piece of plywood, right? Like having that flat, no dynamic movement, it was really tough. And that's why.
This is more your style. This is more what you do.
Exactly, this is us.
Yeah,
So
I love
the
it.
point of that is so that we actually can show what we do, so we could talk with our authority of what we've been doing for 20 years. So first do your introduction and show off what these are. Sure. I'll just move that subtly. Let's see. The fact that it's staying. Oh, I just thought I had unplugged it for a second. There we go. Cool.
I've never done the live on TikTok, so
No?
a plus sign, right?
It's the
Plus.
same thing, and then you add a thumbnail by taking a picture.
Oh, okay.
So then change
I'll
this
change this guy.
and change that.